I am very excited to be here today. Just to let our viewers know, Don Farrell and Cynthia Collins and Judy Fitzgerald are all over at Studio Theater getting ready to open Working the Musical.
Very exciting. Very exciting. This is a big show. Really, I mean, not to, there's no exaggeration. No exaggeration. The show is really phenomenal, and the cast is phenomenal.
And it's at a time in our society that we need to honor the working people and the ordinary people, the everyday people, the doctors, the firemen, the policemen, everybody in all walks of life that make this world go round.
Domestic engineers, otherwise known as housewives, and
I had a business card one time when I was with my kids, and I had Meg Gates Osborne, domestic engineer, and I passed it out and watched people look at it and look at me and look at me, and I just smile and say, I have a job.
Yeah. It unfortunately, a lot of people don't necessarily get the importance and they don't get around to thanking their moms until much later in life, when they realize just how much work goes into running a household. So I know for my generation, where there were a lot more less women in the workforce and more women at home, things have changed dramatically, and I don't think this is going too far out on a limb, and yet women are still doing the same amount of work at home, as well as
thank you
doing their jobs elsewhere corporately.
Thank you. And that is so true. And I can't tell you now, as I'm years old, how many times I've said, oh my gosh, that's what Mom meant. And at the time, I was so angry and mad at her and thought she was an idiot and a narcissist and mean. And now at my age, that thing called, I think, maturity has helped to give me the opportunity to really, and I wish my mom was alive and my dad, and I'm making a public statement right now with you, Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. You
Absolutely.
were right. You were right. And I'm sorry that at the time I thought I knew more. But they were right. And it's amazing how you come to that reality.
Yeah, well, the old saying is, you mock the thing you are to be. Yeah. And usually it comes around. Hopefully for a lot of people, it doesn't come too late.
Yeah. For me, my parents were gone because they died. Well, they didn't really die. I was 30. Scott, how old are you? 27? 28. So because my dad died the week Scott was born. So that's, I know how.
Scott's 28.
Yeah.
I think the belt I'm wearing is 28.
Yeah.
That's a.
Well, we need to introduce ourselves.
Yes.
We just opened up and started.
we probably, I'm Philip Paluso.
I'm Meg Gates Osborne.
And I actually video produce many programs for Meg and Associates, and I also do video production for Actors Theater of Indiana.
And that's who we're here with today.
Absolutely, and that's it's an honor to be able to do that. Most talented people. I used to say the Three Stooges were the three most talented people in show business. Not anymore.
No. Definitely
ATI.
It's incredible. And I am the marketing director and the development coordinator for ATI. Have been here for 4 years. Been a blessing. Just incredible opportunity. My team, Megan Associates, of which Philip is part of, and we have quite a few other people. We are kind of the behind the scenes of ATI, making it happen, getting stuff out there, marketing. And so today, when Judy, Don, and Cindy had a time change in their rehearsal schedule, they asked us to come and talk with you today and give you some ideas of what goes on behind the scenes of Actors Theater of Indiana. And I am going to ask Philip. I'm amazed with what Philip does. I actually met you through Adam Mawson.
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
were working on Adam's campaign
On
video.
his campaign video.
And he had asked me to help out coordinating stuff on that. And we actually ran into Adam last night at the Social Cantina, which I would recommend as a great Mexican restaurant last night. And we were telling him we were so grateful that he had introduced us to you many moons ago. And then I introduced you to Cindy.
Absolutely.
And it's been going from there.
Yep.
I also want you all to see my caramel caffeine trail. Anybody who knows me well knows I love coffee, but I really love the caramel caffeine trail. This is all going to be new, the logo. They have a new one. It's going to come out June 10th. So mark your calendars. There's going to be a great big event for the caffeine trail that day. And we're going to be on Wish TV on their morning show. Talking about the new caffeine trail. There's 24 stores throughout Carmel. You can check my Facebook out. Yesterday, Meredith McVicker and I went to Rose and Lewis. Is it Rose and Lewis?
I think yes.
I think, and we shared coffee there and did a video, and it was delightful. Highly recommend it to everybody up at 146th Street and close to Allisonville in that new area that's building up. They've got some.
Yeah, they've got room to grow up there.
Yeah, a lot of neat, but it's delicious. So just want to make a plug for the Caramel Caffeine Trail. But first, I want to thank our main sponsors of ATI because, yes, we do sell tickets, but this organization does not survive without all the gracious gifts of the sponsors, the grant writers, and the patrons. And Elaine Mancini is our grant writer, and she's incredible. If you ever need one, she's great. She does a tremendous job bringing grants into ATI. We have the City of Carmel, which we greatly appreciate in a lot of different ways, not just for the grant we get, but their support. During COVID, they allowed us to do outside drive-in theater shows. They kept us alive. We were open. We were entertaining. The trio was singing, which was important.
It was a that whole experience, and if some of the viewers might remember that they could actually see some of those programs live online, and so that was something that I was part of, and it was very, very rewarding, and everybody had such a great time. And it was what was, I think, truly amazing is to, I was up in front on a camera looking up to the stage, and I remember the first time I turned around to look behind me, and as far as I could see in that mall parking lot, I saw nothing but cars.
Right.
And it was just absolutely amazing.
When we had a great team again, I would go back to the Vegas team. My son Scott was the one who orchestrated how to fit 60 to 70 cars in rows by increments of price levels who can come in and get out. We did not have one car hit each other or anything coming and going. It was just amazing, and it was so great to have live music. I remember we had a couple in their probably 70s, 80s that were always in the front row. And they'd get their little chair out, and they'd get in, sit in their chair. They'd have their face mask on, and they'd hold hands and just sit there and enjoy the music. So grateful to have entertainment in Carmel during COVID. So it was a great experience.
Well, and which goes back to what we were, saying before is, having an appreciation for maybe things that you might have taken for granted. In that time, it was taking for granted the freedom to be able to go and enjoy the arts and all that kind of thing. And you figured out a way to make sure people had that opportunity, which was absolutely wonderful. And here we have an opportunity to pay tribute through this phenomenal musical play, based on Studs Terkel's famous book, where he interviewed hundreds upon hundreds of people about their jobs working the musical, and so this is an opportunity for people to maybe take a step back and appreciate the people that maybe we don't notice throughout our work days. You know, you're driving down the road, or you're walking, or you're in the store, you're in the restaurant. You know, that waitress is not just somebody that goes back and forth from the kitchen to your table. There's a lot more to that story, and so that's what this play
Is all about.
recognizes, and it really is phenomenal. And of course, the cast is absolutely phenomenal.
It'll be a great show. Don't miss it. It'll be opening up this Friday night, the 29th, and it goes through May 22nd. You can get tickets at the box office at 317-843-3800, or you can go to atistage.org, and it will lead you to the ticket sales. I also want to thank United Fidelity Bank for its continuous support to ATI as a corporate sponsor. PEDCOR, we wouldn't be in the building we're in right now if it weren't for PEDCOR having this podcast. Sun King Beers, they're always supporting us. Merchants Bank came on board last December during the holidays, and that was a phenomenal opportunity. Hendricks Health came on board last December, and that was incredible. They helped sponsor our holiday shows throughout. We had one at Chris Kindlemart, at Feinstein's, and they were the sponsors of that. And then we have all of our patrons, and I don't care if it's $1 up to, we have these new plaques of $5,000 for the legacy and $2,000 for the encore. We appreciate everything. So I just want to have a call out to all our patrons. I can't list you all. They are in the program when you come to working. You get you come to working, and you'll see a page, and you can read about all of our patrons and how much we appreciate them. But I want you to talk about, how does a video producer help market a theater Broadway show like ATI or Working? What are some of the things you contribute, you create, you make?
Well, I tell you, it's not rocket science, even though I'd like to, make believe that it is. But the fact is that it's not unlike making a movie or a TV show. You need to first obtain footage, and then craft that footage into something that gives people an idea of what they're about to see. So if you think about some of your favorite TV shows and how you see promos for those shows on TV, that's what we do. That's what I do for ATI. So I get in and capture whatever footage I can, whatever interviews I can, and then let those folks talk about what it is that they're doing, what it is about this show that is meaningful for other, for people to come and see. And what I love about that whole process is, and this is what makes my job not the same, thing all the time, is it's always a different subject.
Yeah.
And so that's why I get up in the morning every day, and, thank goodness that I'm doing what I'm doing, is because it's never the same thing for me. There's always something new to learn. And I love that about what I do.
Talk about one of my favorite videos that you produced for ATI was the Lombardi video that we put out on Wish on Monday Night Football. And I want to thank Carmel High School for allowing us to use their football field. But share about that experience and that video. That was so awesome.
Well, we were looking for a way to, because we wanted to make sure that people understood what this show was about. And we needed something for as early in the process as possible. And so Don Farrell, who played Vince Lombardi so well.
Oh, so well. So well.
Got into character, and I approached him about going out to a football field, and I said, let's channel Vince Lombardi and be out there and pontificate to the football gods the way Lombardi might have. And so, as you mentioned, the football program out there allowed us to come out there and use their field. And you know, what was really great is, you know, you could see the you know, as the lights were coming on and all that kind of stuff. It was just really, it was beautiful.
It was.
And Don really got into it. And that ended up being, you know, something that not only was a part of that initial promotion for the show, and was the footage was able to be used for the appearance.
Right.
But then we were able to use it throughout the run of the show for promotion. And on top of that, and I'm going to tell you what was really exciting for me, is that I was able to use the that experience to propel me into something that I had not been able to do before for ATI, and that was be a part of the production.
Yeah.
And so that was something that was a highlight for my professional life, was to be able to be, because they had multimedia in that show. So there were like game highlights and all that kind of thing. And so I had to make up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Do reenactments of things that might have been used during that time. And so the ability to be a part of the show, and I don't know if I even told ATI this or not, but it was a highlight of my professional career to be
That's wonderful.
on the inside.
Yeah.
At that time, because normally I'm there, I'll shoot the footage from the dress rehearsal, and could be used for spots and everything, but I was doing stuff that was being used in the show, being seen by the audience every night, and that was a point of pride for me.
That was one, and it was wonderful. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I love, now we've worked together now with ATI for 4 years at least. I love a sizzler video that you'll send me, and it'll kind of be a recap of the season, all pieces of all the different shows all put together. I'm visualizing the one with the Steve Martin show, and you had the dancers up front when they first walked out. It's what was that Steve Martin show? It was in September.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah, and it had so much music, and you had them out, and so you open up the sizzler for that end of the season for us to promote, and you have them dancing, and it just gets you so excited to start with. Is it fun to take clips of all that and put it together?
Oh yeah, and you know, it's just as fun to be able, first of all, to acquire that footage. And for me, I'm an old garage band drummer, so you know, music is a big deal for me. And so when I shoot, it's kind of, there's a musicality to a beat, and I think about how this is going to be edited and so forth. And so when I'm able to, and during the dress rehearsal, I get to sit up front with a camera, and I'm able to kind of move to the beat of the show, whether it's dramatic or whether it's musical, and that helps in post-production to be able to put that kind of thing together, which makes that very effective.
Oh, and it's great for me. I'm always pecking them on the shoulder. I need video. And then I'm pushing it out to the media, to the social media, and all the different avenues that we have. And we have a YouTube. ATI has its own YouTube. If you want to see some of his work, it's all on our YouTube. I've downloaded all the different pieces to that, so that would be fun. But it's about time to close.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Well, it was a pleasure.
And I want everyone to get your tickets to Working. I want to let you know that on May 8th is going to be the Lab Series to Henry's on Saturday, which will be phenomenal. Kenneth Jones, who also wrote Alabama Story, if you saw it when it was here.
Phenomenal play.
Phenomenal writer. Incredible. That will be, and then on the 14th, oh, I'm sorry, I've twisted up.
Yes, that's the 14th.
That's the 14th. Forgive me. The 8th, Mother's Day, is the Sun King Talkback. And that is that, and you get free Sun King As I said, they were a sponsor. Now
Yeah.
you know why.
I will be there.
So, great. And then the 14th is the Two Henrys.
Two Henrys.
Kenneth Jones. Again, I can't reiterate.
And if
his,
you've never been to a play reading, it really is because that's going behind the scenes. Really, that gives you a really cool behind the scenes look at how a play comes together. And Kenneth Jones is just one of the more outstanding playwrights of this generation.
He is fabulous.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things I have enjoyed learning being with ATI is I grew up with a father who loved Broadway, so we'd go to New York and go to Broadway shows, but I never understood how they got there. How did they get to Broadway? How did they get to that theater I was at? What were the steps this show took? Well, readings at ATI is one of the first steps a show takes on its way.
And you thought that they make it up as they go along.
Yeah. And the new season, Mr. Confidential, which is going to be the last show of the new season, it's going to be a world premiere for ATI. And we actually had the reading last January here in Carmel, Indiana. Carmel, Indiana. The first reading of this show that came from LA was here, and it was so masterful and so well received. They are going to use it for their last show next season,
so
May.
When ATI says Broadway in your backyard, they're not kidding.
It's Broadway in your backyard.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in. Next week you'll have one of the trios back.
And I get to be on the other side, behind the cameras, directing again.
And thanks, Scott Osborne,
Thank you,
for
Scott
making
Osborne, for
this happen today.
He's out there like an octopus there with as many arms and legs running everything. So.
Usually it's the two of them, but he took it, and we were here today, and we were glad to be here.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for tuning in.